We are back with another leg day, a different leg day than we did last week. This is going to be my more quad focused leg day. As you saw last time, if you watched the last video, I say one is a more ham biased day, one's a more quad focused day. I really end up hitting hams and glutes on this day as well. Last time we didn't show you calves. I'm running a little late today, so we're still going to do my little superset of calves in tib raises, and then we'll get right into it. Believe it or not, I think I finally figured out how to get my calves to grow, and it's really just starting every single session with calves. Leg session, push session, pull session. I've been trying to get these suckers to grow, and I think I finally made them grow like 2 millimeters. So we're on to something. Pro tip for calves, train them first. You and I both know you're not going to circle back to them at the end of a whole leg day. All right, we're going to start just like last time. I mentioned I start every leg day, whether it's ham focused or quad focused, with a seated leg curl. So I'm going to get right into those seated leg curls, 2 top sets there, and then we'll regroup for my intensifier that I do today. I feel like I give myself plenty of rest time in between leg curls. My hamstrings and my adductors, it takes like literally 2 reps, and they are just so pumped with blood, it is painful. So I always make sure like I'm ready to go for my next set before I get into it. That's why you'll always see me pacing around. I'm just getting steps in between waiting instead of just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Did my 2 heavy top sets of 8 to 10. On this day, I do them with the pause and the contraction. Honestly, just a little something different since I do them so often. So this 3rd set, intensifier set, again, taken from Sir John Meadows. It's going to be I'm just gonna do touch and go reps, so I'm not gonna do that pause. Shoot for 10 reps, drop, shoot for 10 reps again, then 10 top half partials, and then a 10-second iso hold as far as I can get it down. So you shouldn't be able to walk very easily after it. So good luck. I try to keep my ankles as close together as possible, because as the set goes on, my feet are probably going to shift to be more hip width. You see some people, their ankles are just way far apart like this. Keep those knees as close together as possible. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. I can never get out fast enough. Okay. That's it for there. Morphogen Nutrition, Synthogen, Creatine. This was my non-stim pre, which is their Volugen. Honestly, I like to have coffee as my caffeine. I'm such a coffee hoe. But if you like a pre with some stimulant, Alphagen is the one for you. Jessica 10, you know the drill. God, the pump is real. I'm a little sad today. This is only like the second time all year I've done this leg day by myself. Jake is out of state. It's kind of funny because like we're kind of training partners, but we don't really even do many movements together. But that's okay. I think like honestly, just having somebody that you know is like working hard and is there if you need a spot or anything like that, it's kind of like a vote of confidence. So you can find training partners and hardly even train with them and they'll still be very valuable to you. So just something to consider. Although this day, we actually do pretty much everything together, so I am sad. I used to be so strong at these, I'd be gym pinning it up. Now when I do them, I do more tempo work because I'd always end up not like pulling my adductor / glute, but something would just get super tight in there. So what I try to do now is get like a nice 2 count, or at least a strong 1 count, hold in the stretch portion and then as well as the contracted portion. And I also, rather than exploding out of the hole, I think about just squeezing and really using my adductors out of the hole. Just do 2 sets here. 1 8 to 10, 1 11 to 15. Another thing I do on these, honestly, I can't tell you why. I can't even remember who I got this from. But I almost think about like pointing the soles of my feet together, so there's a little bit of an angle there. I don't know, I just feel like it hits the adductor in a different way. So sometimes I'll do one set normal and then one set curled like that, but give it a shot. I think it feels good. I swear this really is my quad day, even though we've done all hams and glutes. So here I'm just gonna do one set of some RDLs on the pit shark, and then we're quads from here, I promise. I'm a little concerned because I usually take like 20 anxiety Ps on a leg day, and the women's toilets are flooding. So I don't know what I'm gonna do besides hope and pray. So again, a super shallow range of motion with these. One thing you want to be aware of is the pit shark, I feel, almost tricks you into thinking you can go lower to the ground than you really need to. So just be very mindful that you're stopping the movement once your hips are no longer driving backwards. T-Pain's got a new single. Yeah. Have you listened to it?
I listened to snippets on TikTok, but I haven't listened to it.
Good to see the old man still kicking. I know, I've been seeing the TikToks. I'm like, he's got a lot of energy for an old man. Are you gonna put those away, or? finally getting into our quad portion. I'm gonna do 3 sets here. 2 are gonna be 8 to 10 and then 10 to 12. And then I'll do a 3rd set that's just gonna be a rest pause. So I'll aim for like 12 on my first set, then I'll take 15 seconds, 20 seconds, rep out maybe 3 more, maybe 4, take another 15 to 20 seconds, and then eke out 1, maybe 2. And that's how I do my rest pauses. It seems like a silly thing, but I love keeping my straps on so I can really like focus on keeping myself in that seat without having to focus on my grip so much. Sometimes I'll wear these on the leg press too. And it's crazy how that one little thing just clears your mind of one more thing to worry about, I think. Okay, that's that. That is that. Now we're warmed up. Now we start our quad day. It's not a joke. All right, on to hacks. I would be willing to bet that the man who developed squat shoes never got laid a day in his life and wanted to make sure nobody else got laid on his watch either, because how can you make a goofier looking shoe? Like, you couldn't do anything? You couldn't do anything. Anyway. Very controversial, but I banned these. If you hate on it, I still respect you. We can be friends, as long as you can be friends with me. I just want a little bit of reprieve on my knees at the bottom. So I don't like to do it super heavy. You can see there's still a little bit of slack in this. And your sled should still be able to touch the bottom with the band on it. So that's how I do it. You'll see people with way stronger bands, it won't even come close to touching the bottom. Respectfully, I believe that's bullshit. Sorry, I'm trying to organize my thoughts because I have a lot to say. The next thing you're going to see me do could be mildly controversial, I'm going to have this foam roller behind my upper back. The reason for me for that is I have long femurs. I used to never talk about this because I always felt like it was me coming up with an excuse for why I couldn't perform certain movements. The more experience I've got, the more I realize it's a valid reason for finding other angles to doing the same movement. So if you were to look up on Google or anywhere what this foam roller does, it's going to tell you that it's making it more glute biased. those of us with long femurs, I think will agree that anytime we're told to do something a certain way to bias the glutes, we just end up biasing our quads. And if we're told to do a certain way to bias our quads, we just end up using our glutes. So doing it this way, since our upper bodies want to hinge forward anyway, it's putting you in that position so you have more space for your hips to be behind your torso, and then you can keep your knees driving over your toes. Whereas when I'm more upright, if I go all the way to the bottom, I'm just driving out of the hole with my glutes. I think that sounded right. I think that was okay. Then the other thing that I always do on these, you'll see I'm not going ass to grass. I think a lot of us, again, when we're in the long femur gang, we have a tendency to kind of tilt our pelvis, get some butt wink underneath us, so then it's putting pressure on your lower back. I also find when I go all the way ass to grass, I'm taking the tension off of my quad, and I'm just loading my hips and driving out of the hole with my glutes. So I would be doing these sets, and I'd be going ass to grass like everyone's telling me to, and I wouldn't feel anything in my quads. I would just be getting a killer glute pump. So I find when I intentionally stop the movement just below parallel, it's still loading my quad. I'm not dropping all the way into the hole, taking that tension off of my quad, and then just transferring everything into my glute. I get so much anxiety leading up to that moment. All this little pacing around, all this little, oh, maybe I better pee one more time. It's all just sandbagging because I'm scared. But I did it, and now I'm okay. Whew. This felt good. That felt good. I actually do 3 sets here just because what I was alluding to earlier in terms of, long femurs, glutes, and quads, I connect very easily with my glutes, whereas quads take a lot more work. So I do 3 sets here just because I feel like I'm really connecting well with this movement. And honestly, there's, I can think of like maybe a pendulum squat, a front squat. I already do front squats on the other days. So I'd rather just add a 3rd set here, as opposed to a movement that I feel like should work on paper, but I don't feel that connection with. I think I went a long time, I think, doing things that I felt like, well, this is what I should be doing, right? Without allowing myself to think for myself. And some of it I agree with. I think when we're coming up, like, we don't really know what we're supposed to feel anyway. And then once you can kind of feel things and connect with the muscle, you can start thinking for yourself, I think. Other pro tip, anabolic, Old Spice. Care about the people you train around. Can't be smelly. No smelly pits. It's a real pandemic. All right. I think JP always talks about how he trains to the Lion King. And, you know, I didn't get it when I heard it like 5 years ago, but I get it now. Like, I will be listening to sad love songs. I'll be listening to Lord Huron. Right now I'm on a Bad Omen Spectre kick. I just need something, like I said, I have so much anxiety. I need something that'll allow me to like slow my racing mind. And if you watch me, I pay a lot of attention to my breath. So I'm making sure I'm inhaling on the way down and then exhaling on the way up, and just keeping that rhythm. A lot of people forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. So I actually do, as I said, 3 sets here. I keep them a little higher rep though. So that first set I got 12 reps, which was up 5 pounds per side from last week. And I kind of just leave the weight there and let the reps taper off. So I did 12 reps. This last set was 10 reps. And I did go ahead and pull a 5 for each side so that I can hope to get hopefully 10 reps again. I'm fine with 8 reps. The thing is, I'm not trying to go necessarily super heavy. As I said, I am trying to kind of nail that tempo and make sure I'm keeping it in my quads and not just powering through with my glutes. So we'll do this last set, and then we're gonna do some hip press, and then we'll be done. I don't try to kill myself anymore. And by that I mean, when I started, I would turn every hack squat set into sort of a rest pause. I would do 5 reps, and then I would get to the top and I would catch my breath for 5 or 10 seconds, and then I'd get 2 more, and then I'd wait 10 more seconds, and I'd get 2 more, and I'd just go on and on and on. Now I get continuous reps, as many as I can, ideally in the 8 to 10 range. Then I'll catch my breath for a couple seconds, and then I'll go again. And if I need to stop again, then I'm just done. I train legs 3 times a week. I train legs a lot, okay? So I still need to be able to recover. And I think you can leave a rep or 2 in the tank and still grow and maybe even be better for it because your body's not going to fall apart. But if you're new, unalive, but not literally. I love this hip press. It's a Tyler Hobson, which I think Lance, the owner of Muscle Factory, was telling me that he actually helped with Rogers. The Rogers hip press, it's useless to me because my background's so incredibly bad. I don't mind the squat press. I like the squat press. The hip press I can't use. This hip press, I get no lower back rounding. And I can get my feet really low on this platform and really feel it in my quads, which ironically, this one is supposed to be designed to have a more ham and glute bias. So there again, it's just kind of playing with your limb length, your own personal biomechanics, and just kind of going based on what you're trying to target and trying to make sure you're feeling it there. I'm gonna do on these, I learned this technique from Brandon Ray. He's a great source. I've been getting so many training techniques from him on Instagram. So rather than exploding out of the bottom, and again, that sort of gives you the tendency to, for me, to drive more with my glutes. I'm going to come all the way down, slight hesitation in the hole, and then squeeze out, pause before extending all the way, and then continue the rep. And that for me just like really, especially at the end here where I'm fatigued coming off everything else we've done, it's really making sure I'm just milking every last drop out of my quads. And again, like I mentioned in the last video, we're pretty well warm right now. So I just touched 2. I'm gonna throw, my top set's gonna be 4 and like 15 per side. So I'm gonna go right up to that and just get into her. I'm listening to Gavin Adcock. It's a country song. I have no words. No words. Kevin, you're a little too aggressive for me right now. I hope you're not high def enough to get my hairy legs. Okay. Whew. If Jake were here, he would go do lunges across the parking lot. That freaking kid. That freaking kid is a kamikaze. I'm not. All right, so that's it for my quad focused leg day. Thank you to everyone who watched my first video. Hopefully you liked my second one just as much. And you know, I'm gonna try to keep putting these out at least once a month. Maybe I'll see if I can do my own like personal vlogs and maybe up it to 2 times a month or something, but it's so much fun for me. I hope you guys enjoy it too. If you have any questions or anything, if I need to explain anything better, just drop it in the comments. So thank you.